Hello, welcome along. Today I'm going to be doing the rounds with the White Rhino. Dave Allen, how are you doing, Dave?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You were yawning a minute ago.
Yeah, I'm tired. I've been training really hard. I've been using this isolation lockdown period to get fit and stuff. So yeah, enjoying it.
That's brilliant to hear. Where are you locking down?
I'm at my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. So yeah, we're all just training together. Really, we're all trying to get fit in this time.
I love that. Love that. Are you ready for this? It's
I'm ready.
six 3-minute rounds. The aim of the game is to answer as many questions as possible. We start with the first round, which is life before boxing. What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a footballer. I wanted to be a professional sportsman. I wasn't bothered what sport. And when I got to 16 and a half and I left school and I realised I wasn't going to be a professional sportsman at anything else, I only had boxing left, so that's when I started boxing.
What were you like as a child?
I was a really shy kid. In primary school, I skipped 1 year in school, went into the year above because I was that smart. This is actually true. So I was with the kids the year above. So a lot of them was like 18 months older than me. And primary school wasn't a very nice time for me. I had a massive head. My head was the same size now when I was 5 or 6 years old. I've grown into it, so I used to get a bit of stick for that. So because the kids were a lot older than me, I used to get a bit of stick. So I was really shy till I got to about 11 or 12, went to secondary school, and I started to come out of myself a little bit more.
Yeah, what kind of character were you at school? Because we all know you now, you're such a big character. Were you the class clown? Were you, like you said, were you shy, like you just said?
I mean, like I said, when I was young, till probably secondary school, till 11, I was really shy. I wouldn't really speak very much, you know. My mum used to have to go into primary school, and the teacher used to say to her, like, we need David to come out of himself a little bit more. He's so quiet. So, but secondary school, I realised I could fight a little bit, got a little bit more confident, you know, and then I was a little bit more like I am today. But I was still a little bit shy, you know, with the girls especially. I wouldn't even look at the girls at school. Yeah, I was still a little bit shy, but I got a little bit more confident because I was the fastest, I was the hardest, so everything was good.
So who was your childhood crush then?
Well, Miss Robertson, my English teacher, and when I left school, I was about 18, 19, I found her on Facebook and I messaged her, and then she blocked me. That's a true story as well. And then, but in terms of people that everyone will know, probably Fern Cotton, from being about 10. Yeah. Mm.
Fern Cotton. Who was your idol? Who did you look up to?
I mean, as a little kid, I love Roy Keane. Still love Roy Keane now. Roy Keane was like the ultimate man to me with his Deodoras on. Loved him. But apart from that, really, I didn't really have any, you know, until I started boxing. Then there was John Murray, John Keaton, you know, just boxers that's on the TV. But I've never really been one to idolise or have heroes, to be honest.
We're nearly out of time, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What moment did you realise that you wanted to do something in boxing?
When I left school, and it was either that or being a warehouse.
Move on to your boxing career. This is round 2. How would you describe your career so far?
Like a roller coaster. You know, there's so many ups and downs. You know, there's so many times in my career, even 4 or 5 fights in, where it was like, you know, you should probably pack in. You know, and then I got a draw in my 7th fight. Well, you should retire, really. You know, and then Lenroy Thomas, I lost to him. He should retire now. I lost to White and Ortiz, and they were like, well, you should pack in, you're not in shape, you should retire. And then I lost to Tony Oka, David, you should retire. Lost to David Price, David, you need to retire. I've been told to retire probably 6 times in 25 fights. So, but every time I come back a little bit stronger, you know, after the Oka fight, if people would have said 9 months later I would have beat Lucas Brown headlining the O2, they'd say I was crazy, you know. So, but I've done it, you know, and every single time I've come back, and every time, you know, there's been a little peak, what's the opposite of peak? Anytime there's been the opposite of a peak, I've come back to the peak. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. You know, I guess at the minute, I'm back down in the dumps again. But you know, I firmly believe in treadmill sound. I'll be back at the top of my little mountain top, anyway, wherever that may be.
Well, you just said about the roller coaster, but for you, what's been the defining moment for you in your career?
I think the happiest I've been was when I've beaten Nick Webb. Because 4 weeks earlier, I boxed Tony Oka, had concussion. It took me 12 hours to get home from Paris. I couldn't see. I was struggling for weeks after I was ill. And then Eddie said, look, do you want to fight on the Dylan White Joseph Parker pay-per-view undercard? And I said, I said, absolutely, yeah, of course I do, yeah. But I knew myself I wasn't well, but this was my last chance to make something out of boxing. You know, until that point, every money I'd made, I gambled and lost. And if I retired then, you know, no one would have remembered me. I'd have just been a nobody. So beating Nick Webb just gave me everything. You know, I bought my first house, and I won the big one. You know, for me, so it was great.
What's your motivation?
To be honest, I just enjoy doing it. You know, I just love doing it. When I first started boxing, I just wanted to be a somebody. You know, I remember being a little kid walking with my mum to school. We have a little conversation, and I tell her all the time, like, I actually tell her that I was special. I say to her all the time, I don't know what it is, I want to do something. I want to be a footballer. I said, one day I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to be best sportsman. I'm going to do this and do that. And maybe I've not reached the proper heights that I dreamed of, but I've done more than I thought I would even then.
But running out of time, but I want to ask you these few questions because it's so good. What's the last thing that you do before you ring walk? Are you a superstitious person?
No, not at all. It depends what fight, you know. Every time when I box, the last thing I do is I give everyone who's, if you're in my changing room before a fight, then you're special to me. You know, you're either a very good friend or you're part of the team. So I like to give one a little bit of a cuddle before I go. You know, that's not really, it's not really a worrying thing that I'm not going to return or whatever else. It's more of a like, thank you for this, and let's go and do it. So that's the last thing I do, really.
What's on your boxing bucket list? Who do you want to face, and what do you want to achieve?
I just want to headline the O2 again. You know, because people always say, you know, like, can't believe you did that, or you did it because you're popular, or you did it because of this. I want to do it again, and that's all I want to do, really. I think I saw something interesting yesterday, and it was very me, because for years and years I've killed with kindness in every aspect of my life. Any kind of trouble I've ever had, or anyone giving me stick through boxing or anything, I've always killed with kindness. But I've seen something, it says you need to touch people with success, it'll feel much better. So I'm going to headline the O2 again, and all the doubters can say, all right, he was right, you know, he was a good fighter. So that's what's left for me to do.
We are out of time, but you just said that you are this kind person, this character, but to you, what's more important? Is it the boxing accolades, or is it being loved?
I mean, being loved, obviously, because I mean, that means more to me. You know, I wouldn't swap the adulation and the cheers and all that for a world title. I just wouldn't. But I guess I've got that now, and I guess that's there. And I'd like to think that's secure, because I'm not going to change as a person. So now it's all about winning stuff and giving people some more great nights, because there's been a few of them.
Who do you think is the best heavyweight in the world right now?
I think you've got to say Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury 1, Anthony Joshua 2.
Life after boxing. What's the end goal for you?
Just being happy, I guess. You know, having a nice little house with my wife and my kids. That's what it's all about, yeah. And just having a nice, comfortable life, you know. And I know it sounds cliche, but just giving my kids everything I never had, because I never had anything. So I just want to have a nice little home. I want to bring my kids up. I want them to be able to do whatever they want to do. Hopefully they'll be footballers and not boxers. Yeah, I just want to have a nice life after boxing, a nice relaxed life where I ain't got to do anything I don't want to do.
Finish the sentence. Life after boxing to me looks like
easy work, just doing nothing, just doing as little as possible. I just want to leave boxing and be in a position where I can just do all the things I want to do. You know,
such as
training my boxers. You know, I've got a young lad now that I've been working with for a couple of years. He's turning pro, and in the Doncaster area, you know, I like to think I've changed a lot of lives through boxing and using boxing as a tool. You know, they think they're becoming boxers, but they're not. They're becoming better people through boxing, because I'm using boxing as the thing where they've got to be able, they've got to start doing certain things if they want someone to join me and box. So after boxing, I want to continue to use boxing as a tool to make people in my area better.
Knowing what you know now, what would you, or is there anything you would have done differently in your boxing career?
I'd have probably trained a lot harder. Yeah, I guess I've never really been one for training. I guess I've only really trained for 2 fights out of 25 properly.
Which, when you say that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's one of them things. You know, it's not always an effort thing. I struggle sometimes to put consecutive weeks of training together. You know, sometimes I go AWOL, I go missing for a while, but yeah, I guess that's a big one. But lots of things, you know, lots of things. Boxing, it's so difficult to get right. That's why I respect all the top fighters, you know, your Furies and Joshua, because they do it right, especially Anthony Joshua. He's been doing it correct now. Since I met in 2012, he's not put a foot wrong. He's in the gym day in, day out. He eats proper day in, day out, and I've got to respect him for that. And I guess if I could go back in time, there's loads of things I could say I could change, but I'm of a different mentality to them. You know, I want to eat my KFC, and I want to go AWOL for a few days because I need it. So yeah, there's things I should change. I probably wouldn't.
How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as this great, fun character that we all loved, or do you want to remember, yeah, he had that great fight? How would you want to be remembered?
I don't think there's much choice in it. I hope to be remembered. I think I will be remembered by the proper hardcore boxing fans. I think, you know, they'll say David Allen, yeah, he was a fun character, and he was in some good fights as well. So I think when it's all said and done, I don't think I've got much of a choice. I think I'll be remembered as a character before a boxer, but I hope when all said and done, they'll remember me as David Allen, the British heavyweight champion. That's the end goal.
What do you think you'll miss the most from boxing?
Probably the crowd. You know, probably the people cheering my name. But the first time there's only one David Allen, like, I just thought they're singing about me. It was crazy. You know,
Where was that?
It was in Newcastle, like 3 hours away from home, and I just thought there's like literally an arena full of 10,000 strangers all singing my name, and I just thought, this is incredible. This is what I got involved in boxing for. I wanted to be loved, and that night, like, that's probably one of the best nights of my career as well.
Move on to your personal life, which is round 4. When you aren't working, when you aren't boxing, you're doing what?
Absolutely nothing. I don't do anything. I sit at home. I literally sit at home. I don't sleep in the bed. I've made like a little. I've got all the cushions off my sofa. Put them on my living room, back to much of the radiator. I made like a little sofa bed out of it, and then I put YouTube on, and I watch, you know, the drill soccer and Jimmy Bullard trying to score loads of great goals. I watch all sorts of things on YouTube, and I just literally do that. And then, you know, I train a few lads that I train at home. I do that. I go to TGI's. And then I'm really struggling after that because I don't really do much at all.
You're happiest when?
I'm happiest when I'm at home watching things on YouTube alone, just, you know, with a bottle of Diet Coke, bottle of Iron Brew, you know, some popcorn. Sometimes I like to go to the cinema and get some popcorn, pick and mix, large Coke. I don't go and watch a film. I just leave. I just go straight out, I buy it, and then go straight back home. And then watch stuff on YouTube at home. So yeah, it's a very, very simple life. And a lot of people that say to me, "Oh God, I bet you're mad on a night out. I bet you do this and that." But I do absolutely zero of that.
But that's the thing. I think people think that about you, don't they? They assume that you're this larger than life character and that you're going to be out and partying and doing all that kind of stuff. But no.
Yeah.
Something we don't know about you. What is that?
Well, I think a lot of people think, like I said, a lot of people think I'm a bit of a party animal. And a bit of a hard man, but I think I'm just very quiet. You know, I don't drink, I don't socialise. I go out once in a blue moon. I like, one of my favourite films is Dear John. I like The Notebook. I like to sit at home, watch a nice film on my little sofa bed, and I'm really happy doing that. You know, I think the older I get, the softer I'm getting. So, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy that is happening.
What's your worst characteristic? What's your worst habit?
I'm very lazy. Very lazy. You know, my mum and my sister have to clean my house because
that's not going to be going down well now, is it? Really?
No. I'm very lazy. Very, very lazy. I'm using this period of time where I'm cooking meals and trying to like wash my plate after using it and stuff. But yeah, I'm very lazy. Yeah, that's probably the worst thing.
What scares you?
Wasps. I think I'm scared of wasps and trains. Like, they're the two things that I'm fearful of the most. And I think if you look at a wasp and you look at a train, I think they look very similar. So I think anything with a pointy head that moves fast and capable of hurting you, I'm fearful of them. So yeah, plane as well.
Right, let's move on. Fantasy round 5. If you could fight anyone in the world, dead or alive, your fantasy fight, who would it be?
It would be Anthony Joshua. We were sparring in 2012 before the Olympics. I remember Rob McCracken ringing me like, David, look, we need a favour. Can you come and spar Anthony Joshua? And I said, yeah, of course I can. So I remember literally just turning up, just sparring, and we sparred lots for the Olympics. And we sparred a lot until around late 2015. Like, I was one of his main sparring partners. I was there all the time. And I always used to think, you know what, I can beat this man, you know. Like, I know how special he's become and all he's achieved. A lot of people think I don't like the man, but that's not the case. You know, and I've got unbelievable amount of respect and admiration for him for what he's achieved. And I kind of saw it from the beginning. I kind of saw how much he had to work. He's not the most naturally talented. I don't think there's anyone that works harder than him. But it was always the one I used to look at and think, oh God, I'd love to box him. You know, I'd love to box for a world title against him one day, because some people look at that and say, oh well, you must not like him or you must have something against him. But you know what? It's an admiration. It's a scene where he was at, you know, before the Olympics. I just think he's not that much better than me, you know. Then over the years and years and years, he's grafted, you know, and his rate of improvement, he's gone like that, whereas I've gone like that. And, you know, and I guess that with the drink fight, as all that, as on top of that, you know, he's the main man.
If you could take one person, anyone, again, dead or alive, to a fight, who would it be?
Take them to a fight?
Yeah.
I mean, the one person, there's three people I'd love to meet. I want to meet The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Like, I was a big wrestling fan as a kid, and I think he's just the coolest man in the world. I'd love to meet Denzel Washington. I just think that's very much similar, same kind of guy. And Will Smith as well. So any of them three, I'll take all three of them with me. Yeah, they're like the three men that I look at that aren't involved in boxing that I admire. You know, that I look at and I just think, yeah, that's three men that have done good there. So probably them three. Yeah.
Who would play you in a film, do you think?
Rav Wilding. Do you know Rav Wilding?
Yes, that is such a rogue choice.
Yeah, when I was a bit younger, I used to catch the sun quite a lot, and yeah, it was a bit wavy. Yeah, people used to say like Rav Wilding, and he was Helicopter Heroes and that, so his experience on camera. So probably go for Rav Wilding. Yeah. I
was expecting something like Chris Hemsworth or something. I don't know.
No. Rav, I've got faith in Rav. I think he can do it.
That could happen too as well. If you had one wish, what would that wish be?
One wish. I don't know, because I guess I just wish everyone would be nicer to everyone. I guess that's pretty open-ended one, but I just wish the world would be a bit of a nicer place. I guess that'd be nice. Yeah.
And like I asked everyone, what would your superpower be? If you could have a superpower for 24 hours, what would that be?
Well, I want to be able to fly, but I'd like to be invisible as well. So, yeah, 12 hours of invisibility and 12 hours flying, please.
That's a dangerous superpower, being invisible, isn't it? Round 6, you're boxed in essentials. This is your final round. Let's go into it. We're in lockdown at the moment. What's your one item that you would have in lockdown if you had to have only one?
Probably my iPad. My iPad's keeping me going, you know.
To watch YouTube?
Well, yeah, you can watch all sorts on it, I guess.
One dish to eat, one meal to eat?
Sunday dinner. I'm a Sunday dinner fan. I love a Sunday dinner. Can't cook one, but my sister makes a lovely one, to be fair. So, yeah.
So who's the cook in your house?
My sister and my brother-in-law both cook. I make an omelette, you know, 12 o'clock every day, 3 eggs, bit of cheese. Yeah, yeah.
What would be your film of choice to watch?
My favourite film of all time is Training Day. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, 2001. Great film. Watched it about 3,000 times. Say it all word for word. But if that's not your kind of genre, like I said, Notebook, Dear John. I like Casino, anything De Niro.
If you're watching Notebook or Dear John on repeat, you'd be constantly weeping into your tissues.
Well, I mean, after you watch it the first time, you know what's coming, so it's not that bad. But yeah, I've got a very eclectic taste in films and music. A lot. Like I like everything. I like watching, you know, gangster. I like watching Goodfellas, Casino. You know, but then I like Notebook and Dear John. It's what I am.
So, what would be your song then?
My favourite song, probably my favourite song in the whole world, if I put one song, would be The Gambler by Kenny Rogers, or Feels the Gold Eva Cassidy. There's so many songs when I was a kid, you know, when you're a kid, you don't realise how important music is. As I've got older, I've realised songs have like meanings to them, and they get to you a little bit. The Gambler Kenny Rogers is one that resonates with me. Feels the Gold Eva Cassidy. I don't actually listen to that, because it makes me.
That's your ring walk as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but it makes me feel a little bit funny, so I don't like to listen to it. It makes me feel a bit weird, so I never listen to it in the house.
Why not? Can I ask why?
It just makes me feel really funny. My stomach and my chest, and I start feeling really tight. I feel like I'm going to start scrapping it in a minute, so I don't like to put it on.
Imagine if it comes on in the car. Jeez, you don't want that to happen. If you could watch one fight on repeat, any fight, what would it be?
I think it probably Arturo Gatti, Gabriel Ruelas. That was 1998. Gatti's in all kind of trouble and comes back and knocks him out. I think Arturo Gatti's the one fighter. He's got so many great fights like that. He would be the fighter I would pick to watch all of his fights. But there's so many of them, and that's something I've been doing. I've been on Instagram saying to people, you need to watch this fight today. Bo Holyfield. So many of them. So yeah, watching all boxing fights has been one thing that a lot of my spare time's been going on.
Which boxing hero would you like to isolate with?
Out of the current fighters that are going on right now, I think you probably have the most one with Tyson Fury. I think that's probably where the fun's at. Yeah.
And you get the fitness stuff in there as well, because he's doing
years, I've been watching a bit of that, but it's a bit early for me. I don't train till 10. So
finally, just what's the biggest thing, or what's the best thing that you're going to take away from this lockdown? What have you learned about yourself?
I think I've realised, like, it sounds ridiculous, but like, I can cook, I can wash a plate, I can take things from downstairs to upstairs, I can put my towel on radiator, yeah.
All vital things in life.
Yeah, just little things like that, I can turn the oven on, I can do stuff like that. So just little things like that, I've been getting fit, because when I'm at home, sometimes my friends will say, do you want to go out and have something to eat? And I go out and have something to eat. So they're eating healthy at home, stuff like that. Whereas now I've had no choice. So
you've got no distractions, have you? So you can just get.
Yeah, I'm sticking to meal eating because my sister's a real good player, and my brother-in-law's a proper keep fit fanatic. So there's nothing to eat in the house. You know what I mean? It's either eat healthy or don't eat. So yeah, I guess I'm getting used to that life.
Sounds like you're in boot camp, Dave.
It feels like it as well some days.
Well, you know what? Thank you for doing the rounds with us today. Stay safe, stay well, and we hope to see you back in the ring soon.
Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.